Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Welcome everybody to the Giver Marketing Summit. So excited, Christine.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this all year.
This is going to be fun. We got guest speakers lined up to help you with your marketing and your communications and your technology. What's happening in today's world right now when it comes to these topics? And we have a time of networking coming up in a few hours. It's going to be a great day together. And Christine, you've put together quite a lineup this year. I'm excited, and some of the members and and by the way, if you're watching this on one of our social streams, please don't forget to sign up for the networking coming up here in a few hours. You want to go to givermarketing.com/summit. So it's our website /summit to be able to make sure and register for this event, of course, so you get all the goodies and just different information that you need. But most importantly, register for that networking time. That's going to be coming up here after some of our great speakers coming up. We got Kiesha coming up soon. And so, but before we begin, I wanted to share a little bit of how this came about. Like, why are we here? What are we doing? And Christine, you and I have been working together for years, and we have team members that are just rocking it. And basically what ended up happening is over a decade ago, I started a small local marketing company. Clients began asking for coaching. So I started coaching 1-hour sessions just to help them get up to speed, kind of bring them out of the 90s and into the some of these folks are still stuck in the 1990s, right? And they wanted to be brought into the modern era. And so we were just helping them 1 hour at a time. And I would have an assistant help in some cases, and apprentices and others. And before you know it, they were asking for a little bit more than 1-hour sessions. They wanted a marketing director. And so I jumped into that role, and I realized, oh my, I need a team. Like this is becoming like a micro agency or a marketing director on demand kind of scenario. And the clients started getting great results. They started asking for more. Then some of the power partners and associates like yourself, Christine, and others, we started teaming up and helping these clients in a more strategic way, and started building their teams for them. And quite right around that time is when this phrase fractional CMO started developing. And so some of us took the bold leap into that world, and all this talent started forming around you and myself and others. And before you knew it, there was something people were calling the Giver Marketing Network. And I remember the first meeting we had in Northern California in person. And that's back when you had a lot of in-person meetings. And we had a great time connecting. And gosh, I think 5 out of this handful of folks, 5 out of 6 people that were there said, we want to make this a thing. Can we invite some friends? And so that those 5 people turned into 25, then 50, then 100. Now we have almost 200 people that call Giver Marketing Network part of their journey. They're maybe even would say home base for them, for talent, for collaboration, for partnership, for resources, for some coaching each other and sharpening each other. We like to sharpen the axe for each other and with each other, and partner up on projects so that we can all feel a little bit less stress and produce more results, especially with the changes that are happening in the space. And so we can keep up with for each other and with each other. And so now we have the Giver Marketing Network. We have this summit we do once a year. We have Tuesday broadcasts that happen every week, and networking opportunities and mastermind opportunities. And I won't go into all of it, but it's just a blast to be able to connect with everybody that has high character and competence and love to collaborate. And we sort of value those things highly. And so here we are. We're at the summit for this year. And Christine, you want to give us a little teaser on what to expect for today?
Oh, goodness. We are going to have so much fun today. I'm excited. Our speakers that we've got, Lena, we've got Kiesha waiting in the wings. She's ready for us anytime now.
Yeah.
We've got Daniel Knight with Unicorn Universe talking about referral marketing. We've got Tim Palmer. He's talking about the new SEO. We've got Rajiv. He's talking about the new PR, which is really, things have been changing so fast. We've got some really cutting edge topics talking about website conversion. We've got talking about books. I mean, it is absolutely insane. AI and images, some stuff on data, right? And if you're not looking at your numbers, right, how do you know if you're doing any good or not, right? So
Okay, I
like so much going on. I am so excited.
So same here. And if you want to learn more about Giver Marketing Network and sort of what we do, just go to givermarketing.com, click around a little bit. There's a little bot that comes up. You can ask questions. There's ways to schedule appointments with one of us that allows for you to have some QT with one of our coaches. And we're just here for you in your marketing journey, whether you're somebody that's looking for marketing talent or whether you're marketing talent looking for projects. Those are that we're a type of a community that oftentimes there's matchmaking that ends up happening and collaboration for projects. And how many know that, if you have 2 or 3 people working on the same project, go in the same direction with the same mindset, you can get 10 times more done than if you were to try to do it solo. And so we're here to remove the term lonelypreneur from the dictionary, if that's even in the dictionary. But we don't want to see lonelypreneurs in the space, marketing, communication, media, the AI space. We don't want that to be a thing. So
yeah,
with that, I'll turn it over to you, Christine, and then you can introduce Kiesha, and we're excited.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how when I first got involved with the network, and there's a learning curve that goes along with this, and have an opportunity to work with other marketers, because marketing is such a broad area. So if you think about how many different specialties there are, being able to bring all those specialties into one space, right? No matter what it is that we need, we've got somebody in the network that does it. So I love having access to all those professionals, and for them to be able to come on today and just shine and show what they do best. It doesn't get any better than this. Just saying. This is my highlight of the year right here. So I'm really excited because our first speaker, if you have not met Kiesha King yet, you are in for a treat. Her background is absolutely amazing, with corporate background. And when you add in what she's been doing, really diving deep into the video space, she can do things that the rest of us just go, wow, how did she do that? But I don't want to steal her thunder, Timothy. I vote we bring her in and let her just sing away, because she knows her stuff. What do you think?
Let's do it. I just want to thank Kiesha personally for helping me on a project, and it really went well, and I love the end result. And she's actually helped me on multiple things, and she's become a friend, and I just really appreciate her integrity. She says what she does. She does what she says. She's very straightforward. She's clear communicator. And I don't know if that comes from the the family background or the corporate background or whatever it is. I just really appreciate it because you don't have any ambiguity with Kiesha, and she's just right there for you. And her products and end results are always top notch. So I really appreciate that. But Kiesha, tell us a little bit about yourself as we jump in.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I have one of those non-traditional career paths. I'm a former Fortune 200 retail exec, right? So I kind of say I grew up in retail, but I was really focused around customer experience since I've been in retail. I helped redefine customer experience strategies for companies like Best Buy and Gap, and help them connect those directly to the results as well, which is really important. And then I kind of shifted and I started, got back into marketing and worked for an AI marketing company. And then I founded Loyalty Centric, which is where I'm working now. And we're just still focused around the customer experience, but online using video, right? So same thought process, but just a different way to go about it. And so, I've always loved being innovative around everything that I do. I'm always that person where people are going, I don't know about that. That might sound crazy. And then they're like, oh, maybe that was a good idea, right? Like I'm that person. Like I might sound crazy at first, but then just wait a while. It'll turn out great. So I love the space that I've been. I love working with Giver Marketing Network because I get to partner around some of those things as well. And outside of my professional, I'm a boy mom, which takes up a lot of my time, right? So I have an awesome 11-year-old son who has his own business, which is pretty cool. So being able to kind of be a role model around some of those things and have him learn things as a kid that I didn't learn probably till a few years ago from a business perspective is really, really awesome.
We love hearing a little bit of your background and your superpowers. And I know that the video that you created for us really turned out really well, and really appreciate that. With that, what are you going to be sharing with us today? What's the main focus of your presentation today?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about how to kind of close that gap between video marketing and results. Everybody knows they should be doing video, but most people get stuck because they're like, well, I don't see a direct connection to the results. And so they just kind of do it as an extra or when it's convenient versus actually leveraging in a way where it helps their business.
Your videos are so fun and interesting and engaging and memorable. And so I look forward to this, and gosh, let's bring up your visuals and let's have some fun. I'm excited.
All right. So like I said, we're talking about closing the gap between video and results. So let's see here. There we go. So there's the gap that exists. People often don't know that they've created. So even people that do a really good job of creating video on a regular basis and posting it online, they're just looking at video as content versus infrastructure, right? The effort is going into creation, and then they spend a little bit of time, maybe if any, on where it should go, when it should go, what's the purpose of it. And all of that should really flip. You should spend more time on the purpose of it, the strategy, the customer lens, all those things behind it versus the content piece of it, because that should be informing that. So I really want people to kind of shift how they think about video. Visibility has become the goal when it really should be, how does it move your business forward? So when you think about moving your business forward, it starts with relationships, right? So video can actually build a relationship a little bit by a little bit by a little bit if you use it beyond just kind of using it on your website or on social media. And then it also can remove friction if you're really strategic about it. It can answer questions before they're asked. It can reduce skepticism before a sales call. It can create familiarity before a conversation happens. One of the things we do is animation, which Timothy, you were alluding to, and we're hyper personalized when we create those videos, but in a way that it creates familiarity. Like I've had people see a video of a client and then they go to their business and they feel like they've already been there before because we've replicated aspects of their business in animation, right? And they feel like they got to know the business owner through animation, even though it's just an avatar, right? So you want to find a way to initiate relationships and you want to remove friction with video. So your job is a lot easier when you try to get them on discovery calls and different things like that. And I mentioned that I have this background of customer experience strategy with different size companies, from big to small companies. And you want to start with that. Nobody starts with the customer lens, I call it, right? Which combines the customer perspective with their language, right? You can find their language and their thoughts on social media comments, in your sales notes. Everybody uses the AI note taker. You can use go back and find those, the language that they're using. People are sleeping on Reddit. You can get a lot of good customer insight there. And you can use those things to find emotional language and comment trends, figure out their mindset, understand their expectation and triggers, so that you can create more intentional and purposeful video content that people are actually going to go, you know what, I need to keep watching what this person's putting out, and they really get what I'm doing and where I'm trying to go, right? You should communicate with each video by shifting how they think before you try to sell them. Most people, like I said, it doesn't, their frustration is that it doesn't translate to results. And so they don't want to spend a lot of investment, either time-wise or financially, when it comes to video. They're like, okay, I'm going to post it. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm just going to post it there. I'll gauge if there's some comments, but then they just kind of move on, right? They're not posting it where it's actually useful. Meanwhile, they got sales, follow-up, onboardings, and nurturing that all are repetitive things that they're doing. So it gets boring to them. And then the content's boring to the people that are looking at it, because it's mostly just a bunch of verbiage, right? So you don't want that. You want more video than you have verbiage, because if you have to constantly repeat yourself over and over, your video is not intentional enough, and you probably aren't putting it in the right places. So use them where decisions are made, right? Not just where you're going to get likes. Use them where decisions are made. Before the sales call, personalized follow-up, right? Objections and FAQs. What if you had a video that answered the FAQs before somebody even asked them, and they don't have to go through and read all of that, right? What if you had a proposal that was video-based, that's more engaging, that brings people's anxiety down and helps them kind of get over the hump, right? It helps them also understand what the next steps are going to be. And then if you think about onboarding and retention and all of those things, because video is more of an emotional connection, and also can make things more clear, it helps with those things also. It really, video really allows you to insert yourself into the conversation at any point of the funnel or the customer journey, versus just being posted. Insert yourself into the conversation. Here's one that I don't know why, but I know why. That was not true. I know why we don't put a lot into video testimonials, but we should. We think about them like, okay, I'm going to have these 3 cool video testimonials. I'm going to either get somebody professionally do them, or I'm going to have my clients doing them. I'm going to put them on my website. And then when they come to my website, they'll see these video testimonials and they'll buy from me because they saw all these video testimonials. First of all, they're usually at the bottom of your website. And then if it's the first time at their website, you haven't built a relationship. They have no clarity around what you do, why it makes any sense to them. And so they may see the video testimonial, but it's not really going to move them forward in most cases, unless you've already done the other leg work. Video testimonials specifically should be part of the strategy that moves customers through the funnel as well. Unlike like right now, it's kind of a set and forget it, kind of like when you do your LinkedIn profile, then you kind of just done with it until somebody mentions that you need to update it, right? It shouldn't be set and forget it. Video testimonials are a really big deal. And imagine if you didn't just have a video for sales objections, but you had a video testimonial for all your common sales objections. And so instead of you telling them why this makes sense, or why it makes sense for them, or overcoming the objection, it's one of your happy clients that's doing it for you, which is way more believable, way more trustworthy, and moves them through a lot more quickly, because you can just send them that one video testimonial that makes sense for the questions that they're asking or the concern that they have. That's how you use video testimonials more strategically. All right, then you got video messaging in general. I know very few people that do video messaging. Every now and then somebody might send a video in an email. But that's about it. But video messaging works when you meet people inside like the decision-making process versus you send it after the fact, or you just send it out randomly as part of your newsletter, and it's not really something that's helping them make a decision. It's different because it feels one-to-one. Again, it feels personalized. Even if it's not really you live on video, it feels personalized. There's a connection it has because it's still your mindset, your personality, your language, your likeness, right? It adds that tone and it adds that context to what you're saying. They get to kind of feel, if you were reading what I'm saying right now versus you watching me and hearing me, you would have a totally different response than seeing me talk about it in video. And then it can answer those questions that people are not, cannot say out loud, or they don't want to say out loud, or maybe it's something that they know they have this issue, but they just can't put the words to it. And then they see a video, they're like, man, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. And they help with that. Maybe I should keep following this person. Maybe I should check out their website. Maybe I should get on their calendar, right? It's really very, very helpful for that. And then what happens when video is used intentionally, right? You eliminate confusion. And remember, we all know this, confused minds don't buy. Number one, if they're confused, they're not going to buy. Number two, if they have to think too hard to kind of fill in the gaps or connect the dots themselves, they're not going to buy. And friction is the enemy of engagement. And so you can solve all of that with a purposeful video strategy using personalized video through video testimonials or other types of video messaging. Leads become warmer when they get on a call with you. You're building relationships faster, so your sales cycle is shorter, right? And then you have better qualified conversations, so you're not wasting your time, or they're not wasting their time. You don't have to repeat yourself as much. Even in networking meetings, you don't have to repeat yourself as much, because if people have been following your content, they already get what you're putting down, right? They're picking it up already. Less explaining, more trust before the call even happens, which is the point of really good video that you build into your overall business and growth strategy versus video that you're doing, that you're talking about things in your business, but it's kind of really more independent of what you are doing, right? And so think about if you could send video messages to people. Think about, a lot of us use LinkedIn, right? So think about the DMs on LinkedIn. How many DMs do you get that you don't really pay attention to because they all say the same thing? Oh, Kiesha, I noticed that you're focused on, customer experience through video, and I love that. I'd love to hop on a call, right? Right? Versus if you send a video that built a relationship, right? And they're telling me who they are and a little bit about them, something actual genuine that they noticed, right? That we may have in common, and asking, do they maybe want to get on a call and just see if we have anything in common, right? It feels very different. And those video messages, not only can they be personalized in messaging, but if you do video messaging right, they can be sent with built-in call to action buttons. When people are in the moment watching a video testimonial, they're like, man, this person has the same situation as me. I really probably should check this person out, or at least get on a call to see if it makes sense for me as well. When they have that emotion, it's high, it's engaged with your business, and they can just click a button at the same time they're watching that video and get on your calendar, they're way more likely to take action than they saw the video testimony on your website, and then they have to scroll around and think about if they want to go get on your calendar, or they have to think about if they saw a video in the email, do they want to make it simple and remove the friction while they're already in that emotional state of engagement. That's what you can do differently. So that is, Timothy, that's basically, what I wanted to share with you guys, really getting people, getting your heads and your thoughts around how do you start with the customer experience? How do you build it into your overall growth strategy for video? And then how do you use it for video testimonials and video messaging versus just posting videos as wallpaper on your website and on social media that kind of get some engagement for a day or two, and then we've kind of moved on.
It's amazing how a great looking video will capture the attention of whoever you're trying to connect with, whether that's a social media feed or like you said, an inbox, depending on timing and some other things. I'm just curious of what are some projects that you've worked on that you were just super proud of, like maybe some examples of your work of how it turned out. And you don't need to show them to us today, but I was just curious of maybe if you could explain how you've helped some of your clients and what ended up happening when you helped them.
Yeah, so, and I can give you example from both things. So from an animated standpoint, I have several clients who actually do video consistently. They post them on social media, a couple times a week, and they do a great job, honestly. But their concern was, I'm not really getting anything from that. I get a lot of likes and things like that, mostly from the people who know me. And then when we create a personalized animated video for them, right? So it's a character that looks like them in the video. We've done the research around their customer language and their perspective and their triggers, and use that to inform the script. And, especially if they have a brick and mortar or something visible that stands out from a virtual standpoint, if they're an online business, and we recreate that in animation. I mean, we've gone so far as to recreate hand-painted murals inside the lobby of a business in animation, right? And then people are going from that video to getting on their call in a significantly higher amount than if they're just doing the talking head video. And the reason is because, not that you're not doing great on video, they see 100 million talking head videos on social media every day. Something has to kind of break the mold, right? It has to stand out and catch their attention. And then once it does that, it needs to keep it. So I've had people get up to a 30% increase in revenue from personalized animated videos, adding that to the videos they were already doing. I've had people get 2 to 3 more calls a day, inquiring about, getting on a demo call, different things like that, which is a really big deal. This one isn't as tangible, but as far as, on the P&L, but I have a lot of people say, you know what, I've been going to these networking meetings and I send my one pager after I meet with them at the networking meeting and nothing ever happens. Well, nobody wants to read your PDF, right? Well, now they send their animated video as a digital one pager. And now not only do they have more clarity, but they refer them more people, and the video is more shareable. So they share it with others, and they get more high quality referrals by using the digital animated one pager. And then from a video messaging standpoint, it's really amazing. Based off my clients right now, it's anywhere between 18 and 30% increase in leads and conversion when they're using we have a video testimonial messaging platform where they're using that in their business consistently. They're seeing more people getting on their calendar from their LinkedIn messaging, from their text, or from their emails, because it's more personalized and it's automatically, has that call to action built in. And so to be able to see people's results like that and not having to follow up however many times they normally do in the messaging, in the inbox and all that, it takes a lot of weight off their shoulders, but it's also getting them, more business. So, and that's been true for businesses like coaches and consultants, marketing professionals are probably the top 2 that have been using it. And then I've also got, a few franchises as well that are doing that and seeing those big differences in addition to those. So it's been pretty cool.
I love your focus on just customer loyalty and engagement. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to reach out to Kiesha, look up her name, Kiesha, and she'll just come right through the screen with that big old smile, and she'll help you on multiple things having to do with. Well, you can also look up Loyalty Centric, right? And your name is your business name is just, it says it all right there. But Kiesha, how else do people get a hold of you? What's your website name, and maybe a little bit more about what services that you offer directly or top of the service list?
Yeah. So website is loyaltycentric.tech. So it's t.tech, just for that. And then you find me, I'm always on LinkedIn. So it's just Kiesha King with K-I-E. There's a lot of Kieshas apparently that I don't know about, but they spell their names different usually. But I'm on LinkedIn all the time, so you can follow me there, and I share a lot of insight there around video marketing, which is pretty cool. Our top two services from a client perspective are our animated videos that we create for businesses. We do those for ads. We do them for your digital, one pager, so you don't have to send that PDF after your networking meetings, for social media, website, all of the things. And then, like I said, we have a video testimonial messaging platform. It's called Video Fluent, right? So we're going to help you be fluent in video. You can record inside the platform or upload video to it. And it's literally the easiest way to get video testimonials and to send video messaging. My 11-year-old son uses it without any of my help, if that helps you understand how easy it is. So those are the two things that the two main things that we offer. Yeah.
So good. So good. Christine, thanks for getting us started with Kiesha. She's always really informative.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate that.
I was just thinking, Kiesha, don't you have some kind of special offer that you're offering our fans out there?
I do. I made a special offer, especially for this. So normally when we do offer a trial, it's 7 days and you have to put your credit card in, all that. So we have changed it for you guys. It's a 15-day trial for our video platform where you can collect video testimonials and send video messages. And you don't have to put in a credit card. If you want to keep using it later, you can sign up, but there's no catch. So it's just free to check it out and try it for 15 days and see how that works for your business. And if you do the trial, you can always reach out to me. My clients reach out to me all the time around how to use it for your business and how to get the most use out of it. That's
great. So find you on LinkedIn, KIESHA, and message you and say, hey, tell me more about your videos. Tell me more about how this can bring more attention, more conversations, more appointments, more activity with my brand, and she'll help you out. She's helped us out on a couple of things and really appreciate the work that she's done.
And I just grabbed off her website. There's a spot where you can see client videos, and I just had to share this. I love Kiesha's work, and so she's got this unique style. And so, Kiesha, do you have one of these that's your favorite? Do you want us to pop on?
Oh, I think there's one. It's probably a little bit further down. This guy's name is Ryan Maney. What I love about his is because we try to put you at the intersection of your personal and professional. I see it right there. Your personal and professional brand, right? Because people need to understand your personal brand before you're professional. And so Ryan is a pro golfer. He was a pro golfer. And now he teaches leaders in corporate environments, does leadership trainings and workshops and all this stuff. And so his video is set on an animated golf course.
Leaders are feeling
well, first we have to
symptoms of burnout.
That's the ad, I think,
transform
right? Or
your business culture.
We're in the right spot.
Prevent burnout and better engage your people by leading yourself first. Life is similar to golf. Sometimes you get bad breaks from good shots and sometimes good breaks from bad shots. Either way, you must play it where it lies. Bad breaks throw managers off track, while leaders turn bad breaks into opportunities. Leaders create respect and trust, relationships, and results that build resilience in teams. That's where I come in. I'm Ryan, pro golfer turned leadership coach that helps businesses like yours thrive. We build strategy, alignment, and trust so that both you and your team turn obstacles into opportunities. I've helped numerous business owners and leaders step up their game by eliminating burnout and aligning their team to their compelling business vision. I'd love to help you avoid burnout and reach your full potential.
That's fun. That little video makes me want to meet Ryan.
He's really
right.
Cool.
That's the whole point behind it, right? It's bringing things to life. That's so much more fun than just your typical. I created this on Canva. Boom, come talk to me, right? I mean,
right.
There's something about that, and so Kiesha, I can't help but wonder as you're getting involved, how do you even come up with the ideas? I mean, where does this come from? And what if, if somebody's out there going, gosh, I'd like to have a really cool video. Maybe I should talk to Kiesha about, but how do I make myself cool on video, right? I want to be like that.
Yes, interesting. Clients usually don't think about that when they come to me. So we start talking about their customer first, and then I start asking about them. And they'll give me, if they want to help with their script, right? And I'm like, this script sounds like every other script for other people that do what you do. What do you like? Tell me about what you like to do. And then I'm like, oh, I like to do stuff outdoors, or this or this or that. And then I'll help them with, hey, we could do your video this way. I'm a weird person. Like, I have that weird creative and then that strategic mindset. So they kind of collide. People will be talking to me that don't even want video, and I'll be thinking in my mind, oh, we could have done this and this and this for their video to really bring that out. But it really does help people connect with them better. But we have a long conversation so I can draw that out of them, and then I, make something creative out of it.
I love your creative mind. Not all of us have it. So we need people like you in our lives that will help bring out the fun and make business should be fun. I mean, seriously, right? I mean,
yes.
LoyaltyCentric.tech. I love it. Kiesha, thank you as always. Any last words for our audience? An encouragement, maybe one thought or phrase to remember as we say goodbye for now, and we'll see you on the other side of an appointment or a LinkedIn message.
I just encourage people who, don't like to be on video or maybe taking themselves a little too seriously to remember to really step out there first with your personal brand and let the professional brand follow, and you will drive so much more loyalty doing it that way.
Ooh, that was good. Step out with your personal brand, and your professional brand will follow. That's the quote of the day for Kiesha. I love it. Thank you so much for bringing some just encouragement and some overview of you can do this and just experience video for your brand in a way that's simple and easy and memorable and engaging and fun. And that's what I think of when I think of you. So thank you so much for your hard work with us and others. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kiesha. Wow, we're off to a great start. Video is so important right now. You see it everywhere. You're supposed to do it, and so many people don't know where to start. So it's so nice that we have access to professionals like Kiesha, where video is their thing, right? That's their jam, and she loves it. And you can tell because it comes through with her work and really helps her clients shine. So that was an awesome treat.
Yeah,
really excited about that. The other things that are really big right now, AI. Right. It's all over the place. Timothy, when's the last time you didn't have a conversation about AI?
Yeah, there's it reminds me of, and I'm going to date myself here, but it reminds me a little bit of when cell phones first came out. At first people were like, I'm not sure if I need that, or I don't know if I want to do that. And then before you knew it, it was like, oh, okay, that could really help my personal life. It can help my business life. It can increase conversations. It can help in my everyday comings and goings. And as long as I'm not afraid of the technology, then I can certainly benefit from this. And I might need a little bit of a learning curve, but once I get a taste and once I experience the benefits of that, then I can definitely give it a try. And yeah, I mean, even before the cell phone, I remember when computers came out, and it's like,
we're really dating ourselves now.
people were very, 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 I don't remember a lot, but I remember enough to know this was a big deal. This was going to change the world. People were trying to figure it out and spending a lot of time trying to figure it out, and then eventually it just changed the world. So I'm glad we have people like Oz and others in the network who have been experimenting for us. They help us understand this wild and crazy journey around various aspects of, especially the creative side. And I just really appreciate that about Oz and others who are going to be helping us today. So appreciate that.
Yeah, we've got our creatives on this morning, so we might as well keep it rolling and have some fun with it. We've got David Oz Ostersey, and we're going to bring him into the studio. This is my partner at Nemosa, No More Starving Artists, and he's always got something crazy going on in the art space. So I was like, oh, we're going to have him come on and talk a little bit about AI and art and how he's using it now. Hi, Oz.
Hey, sorry I was muted. I just got off my Whatnot show like 10 minutes ago. So my living room is a disaster because I'm preparing to ship rocks and crystals, right? But because I knew I was doing this, I've been playing around in Magi, which Christine, Deane, and I use a lot.
A lot.
And although Christine had asked me to show you the image side of Magi, I've been working on the large language model side all morning, creating a brand voice for my other business, Rockhounds Anonymous. And I'm probably not going to show you that today unless we have time, but it is amazing what you can do with AI when you do something called cascading prompts. That is an answer from a question and a question from an answer and a question from a question and an answer from an answer, where you're actually having a conversation with your AI and it produces unbelievable marketing pieces, which I will be sending to Christine because I've got it all in a Word document ready for her to look it over. And if I'm lucky, she'll read half of it. Okay. She's busy. All right.
Hey, Oz, how did you get into this space? What's the story behind the story here? Like, how did you even start dabbling in this type of work?
I was sitting in a meeting about 4 years ago, Trust Equity. It's a peer-to-peer advisory board. And my friend Eric Thorup, who is a big tech guy, okay, owns a tech company, and he leans into me and goes, hey, where's my phone? He goes, hey, look at this. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing art. Did you do that? He goes, yeah, I did it 5 minutes ago. I'm like, how did you do that? It's like these warriors and maidens. I'm like, it's really beautiful. He goes, yeah, it's something called a stable diffusion, right? And I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. I run it on my computers at home. So we tried it on my computer at home, crashed my computer because you're not supposed to do it natively. You got to do it on their app. And I forgot about it for a little while. And then DALL-E 3 came out and Midjourney came out. And I about lost my mind. You know, I spent thousands of hours creating immense amounts of material, a lot of which lives on our website, our Nemosa website, videos that live on our Nemosa website. Between the multiple different AIs that we use dozens of them. And it literally changed my life. I mean, there's a good portion of meeting Christine through it. You know, we did networking. And when I introduced Christine to Magi, she's like, oh, hell yes. So as good as I am with it, Christine's better. She has gotten to the point where she's a master of it. Dustin Stout is the CEO of Magi. And I mean, they talk together all the time. So she's actually beta testing their second level of it. And I'm really upset that I'm not a beta tester because she is, even though I did the intro. But anyway, let's get rolling. I got my back office ready. Unless you have some more questions. Tim?
No, I just wanted to let the audience know how you sort of stumbled into awesomeness and where some of this. I mean, you have a background in art. You're an artist.
Yes.
And some people don't have that background. But what I love about your insights and your examples is with a little bit of training from you and some great tools, like we mentioned one, Magi and other, there's tools out there that can really make it not only profitable and interesting and valuable, but it can also make it really fun. So I just love hearing a little bit about your background every time we connect. And I remember flying out and meeting with you in your home state there and talking about business and how your art is going to, change the world. And now we got Nemosa.art and all these things are happening because of this technology and because of your background that sort of matched with the technology in sort of this serendipitous sort of way. And it's super fun just to see the development and just learn. Every time you're on the screen, I learn something. I'm like, oh, you can do that. I didn't know that was possible. That's super cool. So yeah, with that, David, let's rock and roll, man. I'm excited to learn today.
All right, sweet. So I guess it's the present button.
It is the present button, and then we'll pull it on the screen for you.
Oh, share screen. Here it is.
Then you have to find the right screen.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of buttons here. All right, here we go.
There is a lot of buttons, especially if you have a lot of windows open. But I think
All right, can you see the pretty lake with the mountains and all the stuff?
I see it. Here it comes. Here it does. All right, there you go. You got it.
All right, so September 10th, 2025, I created this, and it's a very simple prompt, okay? And I just want to show you something that's very different about Magi than everything else. So, alcohol ink style of a field of wildflowers next to a blue-green lake below a huge purple mountain. Very simple. Very, very simple, all right? So, and it was done in a model called DALL-E 3, which no longer exists because ChatGPT canceled it, which pisses me off because I loved it. But it was very, very old. But if you look here, all right, you see those 3 little stars right there? After you press those stars, it becomes this massive paragraph, okay, with an artist at the end, because it reads the type of artwork it is, and it just puts artists in there and all of this massive detail, all right? So I'm just going to show you really, really quick, and we'll do one live, what I created from that updated prompt, all right? First, I did this one, which I did not like at all, okay? Because sometimes it fails, and that's GPT image 1. Didn't like it. Then I did this one, which is Flux, which I do like. I love the wildflowers and the way they looked, all right? And then I changed it. I went into Leonardo, which is one of my favorites, and there's a million buttons there. You could play all day in Leonardo. And I love this one. This is very, very much alcohol ink. Excuse me. You see the way it's kind of like dripping down. You got the lilies under the water. You got the mountains above it. You can see where the water line ends. It's just a completely different perspective of like a photo image from under the water, and it's done in anime. Okay, so this is an anime image. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to stick with Leonardo, but I'm going to change it, and I'm going to do it more realistic. All right, and this was the last one. But if you look at the sky, it's got paintbrush in it. Okay, it's just got this flow of paintbrush. So
okay, hold on, Oz. You're throwing out some terms here, like, and a lot of folks in your space, the artists, they know what these tools are, but Magi gives you a suite of tools, and this isn't necessarily a commercial for Magi, but it's a great tool. It's an aggregate tool. It allows you to pull the levers you want to pull when it comes to, and use the paintbrushes you want to paint, use to sort of leverage other tools. And so, can you explain what is Leonardo? What are some of these other? You mentioned Stable Diffusion before. What are some of these tools that are built into Magi that you're using to produce this art? They're very interesting.
I'm glad you asked that question. Let's go find out. So, when you press this little generate button, you have these boxes that come up. All right, and so I'm going to click this. This is going to be which AI do you want to use? All right.
Got it. Okay.
Nano Banana is probably the most popular right now. It does insane stuff. All right. So you got filter by type, text to image. All right. So this shows all the different text to image that they have in Magi. Flux, GPT, Ideogram, Imogen, Leonardo, Laura, Nano Banana, Recraft, Riv, Seedream. And then, okay, well, what if I want to do image to image? What if I put a photo in, though, of me, let's say, and I want to be standing on a mountain or in a bar, speaking to the bartender, who's a blonde and is really cute. Okay, then we do the image to image, where you're going to drop an image in there, and it shows you all of the ones that'll do that. And then you're like, all right, well, what if I want to create something, a video, but I want to type in what I want. I want to put massive detail in there. Then you do text to video, and it shows you all the text to video. Well, what if I have an image that I created with this, and I want to make that into a video? Then you do image to video, and you have all of these. So you have a tremendous amount of different AI programs that you can utilize, right? And within some of those programs, like Leonardo, you have all of this. So let's say I want to do anime. No, I want to do photoreal. No, I want to do 3D animation. No, I want to do pixel art. Oh, wait a minute. Lucid Origin. I want to do animals. Oh, cute animal characters. Cute characters. I want to be a cartoon. And you do a cute character. It's unlimited. It's almost unlimited what you could do with AI in Magi. All right. So we have all this. Let's do this same thing again. Okay, we have this prompt here. It's a very detailed prompt, but let's go to Nano Banana. All right, because I want to see what Nano Banana can do. We're going to do this live. So we're going to use the Pro version. Okay, resolution. I'm going to do 2K. I want it to be like right in the middle. We'll keep it as square. Advanced options. We're not going to do anything right now. We're going to generate that in Nano Banana. Okay, which is the hottest thing on the market right now. And Magi has it. All right.
Yeah, it's really hot. That's what we've been using a lot with my clients. They've been uploading their photos and saying, okay, I have one that's an acupuncturist. And he decided, okay, well, make the doctor do acupuncture on the turkey back at Thanksgiving time. Or we've got another photo where he's doing acupuncture on Santa Claus, right? So we've been having a lot of fun with it. And it's so much easier to use. Remember back in the day, Oz, when we had to upload 15 photos of yourself, 30
Flux Laura, Flux LLORA. It's still good.
Yeah, but now you only have to do one photo when you do.
I'm going to show you how good it is. Now, look at what it did. The image is beautiful, but it put it on a canvas board. All right. Mm-hmm. Interesting how it did that, but this is phenomenal. This absolutely is alcohol ink. All right. It did a great job. Only I couldn't use it unless I was trying to show off something else. All right. So Christine and I have workspaces. All right. So this is going to go into the workspace. I got David's brand. We got the Networking Diva, the Great Discovery, which we're members of, Nomosa, which is our business. We have an AI workspace, and we have migrated images from the old Magi where I pulled all the old images in. All right. So I'm going to go into Nomosa, and I'm going to do something. So this is our workspace that we created for our business, okay? And I'm going to show you a very average image of me right here, up in the mountains, standing kind of funky with my arms spread out, probably up at about 11,000 feet up at the top of Alta, okay? With sunglasses, no sun on my face, can't see me that well. And I used this image to create a business image of me as the worst image I have of me. It's the least descriptive image of me. But this is how good AI is, all right? So that is the image that I used, and I brought it in. And I used the prompt basically, create something of me in a gray suit with a blue shirt and a burgundy tie, which we wore on Wall Street all the time, standing talking to a pretty bartender in a bar. And that's me. From that horrible image, the hair's a little off. I got a little bit more hair than this, but that's my honking big nose. That's my little goatee. All right. And those are my hands. It looks exactly like me. And model Nano Banana. Just what Christine was talking about. So this would be a good business image that I could use anywhere. Okay. I could crop it. I'd probably crop out the alcohol because I really don't drink much at all. But I looked at this and I said, well, I want to be, I want a video of that, and I want to be laughing. So that's exactly what I did. And this, show all controls. Let me make it bigger. This is what it gave me.
So it gave you both of those just from that image of you on the mountain.
Exactly. And it looks exactly like me. I looked at this originally. I'm like, who's that handsome guy? I'm like, oh, geez, that's me.
I love it. I love it.
And this is how good Nano Banana is. You could take a very average photo of you wearing sunglasses, and I don't know if it searched the internet to get more pictures of me. I have no idea how this got so spot on, because that is pretty much exactly what I look at. Even got my shoulders right. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. I think I see a lot of likeness there. And you mentioned Nano Banana a couple times. Google's been I did not see that coming. I didn't see Nano Banana coming out of left field from Google. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you're listening to this, you probably heard this term, but you haven't played with it yet. If you have played with it, we're going to remind you this is a developing trend where these language models are really highlighting their superpowers around imagery, art, and the like. Any kind of imagery that sort of captures your attention or creates something. And they have so many video and imagery type tools now. David knows more about them than Oz knows more about them than both of us combined. But ultimately, I just want to encourage the audience to listen to what Oz is saying here and go play, go experiment, have some fun with it. Oz, what else do you recommend that our audience could sort of take away or get some action items out of our conversation today?
Well, since this is a Christine show, if you could put a link to Magi in there. Do you have an affiliate link from them with some discounts?
I was going to drop your link, which I believe, I'm pretty sure I have it too. Let's drop that into the comments. It should be the one I've got. Whoop.
Well, while Christine does that, Oz, what else can we sort of share with the audience that they could do this week that would help either their business or help them have some fun? What would you recommend? How did you get started?
I would recommend you go play. Look at some of the free stuff. There's one that I joined a few months ago. And since I do so much in Magi and all of the other stuff that Christine and I have together, the Great Discovery stuff, their AI is pretty good. It is called, oh my God. They have a free version of it. Is it Galaxy AI or is that something else? Geez, I completely forgot. It's so wonderful how prepared I am. Typical artist. Okay. I recommend you go play any free AI. Find free AI on the internet. Okay. There's tons and tons of it out there. Just look for it and go play with images. Go play with images. All the companies have a free version. If you love it, you upgrade. My recommendation would be if you really want to play and you got a couple of bucks to throw at it, go to Midjourney, Midjourney. And what I recommend you do if you do join Midjourney, I think it's about 20 or 30 bucks a month. It's not expensive. You're only going to get Midjourney, all right? But it is one of the most complete AI packages out there for producing everything you possibly want. It is one of the oldest. It is one of the best. And if you do get Midjourney, you want to also look at Mid Library. I'm just going to type that in the chat. Let me actually, Christine, if you could type that in, midlibrary.com. What Mid Library does, and you can use it for any AI, is they will show you thousands and thousands of images that were based on an idea, a word, an abstract, or an artist. So let's say you love, I don't know, Todd McFarlane, who did Spider-Man and Spawn and a lot of other stuff, and you want to create artwork that looks exactly like him. You could go in there and see what other people have created, and you can get an idea based on what he created, what type of prompts that you want to use to create the images that you want. The libraries out there of information, both on YouTube, on Instagram, Mid Library, many others. The Facebook page from Dustin of Magi. Christine, if you could put that in the chat, that would be great. The conversations there from business owners and how they are utilizing their AI is second to none. Dustin answers everything, or his staff answers everything. It's just I underutilize it because, frankly, I am busy as hell right now. But mostly, even though I love AI for the images that I can produce, I use the large language models right now. This morning, I produced an entire brand voice for my business. One of my other businesses is Rockhounds Anonymous. I sell rocks and crystals on the Whatnot app. And it produced just this massive document because we kept answering each other's questions. They would ask me a question, I would answer it. I would ask it a question. That's called cascading your prompts. It is amazing how the AI learns you and learns of you and gives you exactly what you want. And if it's wrong, you tell it, that's not the direction I was going. Let's focus over here. You can utilize AI to encompass everything in your life, make your life better, streamline your business, outsource to AI all the stuff that you do not want for, I don't know, $25, $30 a month instead of hiring an admin. Not that that's a bad thing, but AI will do most of the busy work that admins did a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And you saw what I did with a very bad picture of me that produced a very, very good picture of me. Christine, could you talk for a minute about what you did with Flux Laura and what you're doing with Nano Banana right now? Because you blow me away with the images.
Oh, it's so much fun. I actually was laughing because one of the organizations that Oz and I are involved in is AI Innovation Allies. And so we gather a bunch of business owners together and we talk, AI and how best to use it in your business. And so one of the things that we like to do is epic fails also. So I was thinking about you with your epic fail. So we probably flip an epic fail also. But, it doesn't always go the way you want it to, but it is getting better all the time. But just understand sometimes it goes awry and you may go, oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. Right. I remember with my acupuncturist, he goes, I have more hair than that. So I had to tell it to give him more hair. So sometimes you got to go in and tell it what it needs to do to fix something. And sometimes it doesn't do it. It just stays the same. And you're like, I gave you directions. Aren't you listening to me? And when you get mad at it, it apologizes.
It does. It does.
It does. But it's pretty entertaining. I know when we were playing with like we mentioned, the Laura Flex, I literally had, 15 different pictures of me. They want you in different poses, different lighting, different backgrounds, right? And so I'm trying to find photos. I'm like, no, I don't like that one. Yes, I do like that one. You finally get that together. Then you can tell it what you want. Rajiv will be speaking later today. I had him skydiving.
I saw that.
I was like, here you go. So yeah, he's skydiving. I mean, you just have to get creative. And you mentioned about Dustin Stout and what he's done. Some of his stuff he just put out recently. He's sitting on top of a street light, right? And they took the photo and then they turned that into a video so that it's panning around him while he's sitting on that. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what they've done. I can't even believe it. And some of the prompting is really simple and some of it is really complicated, but having that, it's like little stars in the corner in Magi where you can hit it and it enhances the prompt. And all of a sudden a bad prompt becomes a good prompt. I mean, I love that you can do that. A lot of them don't have that option and you're just kind of troubleshooting and trying. And well, what if I do this and what do that? I have the cutest pictures of me with baby cows. I have the cutest pictures of puppies, right? That aren't actually mine. They're like made up puppies, but I have my own puppies. Maybe I'll put them in there and see what happens. But there is just so many opportunities to get in there and just play. That's really what it's about. This brings out my inner child. As we get older, sometimes we're not allowing ourselves that time to just have fun. AI is that opportunity to have fun. And that's why I thought, Oz, don't drag me down that rabbit hole. If you make me go down that rabbit hole, I'll spend all my time playing and we won't get anything done.
Speaking of playing, have you guys checked out Google Labs?
A little bit. Just started playing with that one.
Maybe you can humor me. I'm not an expert. I've come across enough tools here to make it interesting. And I don't know if I can share my screen. I think I can. Hold on.
I know there's the Notebook LM. Yeah, I've got some stuff here that I pulled too. I don't know if it's showing right now, if I need to bring it to the screen, but
can you guys see that?
Tools for anyone to create, learn, develop, and play with the future of AI. Google Labs. Yep.
And there's an section called Create. And since Oz is here and sort of honor him and his work, some of these tools are they're experiments. They're not all, like you said before, Oz, like they're not all perfect and they sort of come out, Christine, like you said too, a little bit funny at times, but they're getting really good. Image FX is super interesting. Video FX is super interesting. I'm not going to recommend a particular one, but there's enough here to where if you find Whisk, I've tried that one before. There's some music and image related, video related ones under Create.
Are these free, Tim, or are these paid?
These are all free tools until you get to a certain point, and then they pay. But they're there to experiment. And you said the word play, so I just thought, you know what? Why not just bring up another option for people to play?
Absolutely, get in there and play. You can't break it. If you break it, well, then they need to fix it. So
I have something that will break you. All right. I played with this and I got so addicted I had to leave and did not go back. But it's really, really great if you're a musician or an aspiring musician, and it's Suno, SUNO.ai. Christine and I have a very, very good friend named Daniel Knight. He runs Unicorn Universe, created an entire album, put it on Spotify, and it's good. Okay. Suno.ai. I think it's .ai. And SUNO.
Suno.com. Suno.com.
It could be Suno.com, but I thought it was Suno.ai.
That's where
there's a free version and a paid version. The free version's outstanding. I've never used the paid version, but you do 2 songs at a time. You can put in lyrics, so you could just give an idea. All right, I want something combining hip hop and classical and funk from Louisiana. All right, and it'll do it for you. And it's completely different sounds. There's this big spinning wheel there where you can pick a genre, 99% of which you have never heard in your entire life. You pick that genre, you pick the type of song you want. You know, I want a little more bass, I want a little more guitar, I want a little less drums, I want the voice to do this. It's unbelievable. Suno, SUNO. You can become addicted to it, or you can use it professionally and produce in this litigious society where if you're using a song and somebody goes, oh, well, I wrote that, write your own and use it for your business. So before you guys kick me off, I did want to show you something. If I could share my screen really quick.
While you're getting that prepared, Oz, I want to mention one thing, and then I'm excited to see how people can connect with you as well. But Suno is also good on the consumer side. Like I'll put it up and have it play in the background and just play with different radio stations. It's basically like Spotify for creators. Yeah. And it really has some different sounds and some unique experiences just as a consumer, just listening to all the creative music that's been developed. So great call out, Oz. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. So
yeah, of course I had to make a Networking Diva anthem.
She's the queen of the connections game, lighting up the world with her name.
All right.
You just gotta love it. You know, if you're not having fun, you're not doing the right stuff. Just saying.
Yeah.
So for artists, I run the MOSA, and we have a whole bunch of artists, and they produce different types of art. And I created a bunch of Brahma bulls for a company called Bull Axiom. Okay. Unfortunately, the owner who picked it left the company, but that's neither here nor there. But I started creating stuff like this, and my artists were fighting to do what we call an overpainting, where I would take this, okay, and I would print it out on an artist canvas, and then I would give it to my artists to make it their own. All right. That is something we'll be doing in the future. And, you know, I'm just looking at some of the craziness that I've done here. I mean, everything you could imagine. You've got lions, you've got, you know, wolves, and the second one is always the upgrade. Like you can see, this is the first one, and this is the second one with a lot more detail.
Love the lions. Love your lions work. Thank you, Oz. Let's keep it focused on some of the things that maybe some of the audience can play with and look for. How do they get a hold of you?
How do they get a hold of me? OzFineArtStudio at Gmail or oz@nomosa.art. Those are 2 ways to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing some of your art today, and I appreciate your giving some instruction on how we can learn how to do this ourselves and some of the different tools. And we have a little bit of a limited time today in order to kind of share what others would have to share as well. We have Joel that's going to be coming up here in a minute. Christine's going to introduce him. So super excited. But Oz, as usual, thank you for pushing those limits, helping us understand a little bit about the art world in a different way. And for those who want to connect with Oz or Christine, you can go to nomosa.art, and that'll get you right to where you need to go as far as connecting with them. And again, really appreciate it, Oz. Thank you so much. Appreciate
and I apologize. I scrolled down a little bit too far, and maybe some of those images were not family friendly.
Yeah, I appreciate you acknowledging that. I really do. Thank you so much.
That was not intended. I was looking for something. I should have gone up, not down.
I got you. All right.
All right. Thanks, Oz.
Cool. Never know with Oz what you're gonna get. So
you never know what's gonna happen. Oz is always very Oz. That's what I always say.
That's right.
Well, and I know you were mentioning Joel was waiting in the wings, but we actually have another presentation. He's actually early, unless he wants to go early.
He'll give a thumbs up either way. Like he'll give us whatever he wants to do. Either way. Okay.
He's doing both. So it's whatever way we want to go. He says he's ready to fly if we want. So let's bring him up.
All right.
Who doesn't want to bring Joel to the stage? Hey, Joel.
Well, hello.
Welcome. Oh my goodness, Joel Snyder. Goodness, you are one of my favorite mentors, right up there with Timothy. I got to say, this man comes with a wealth of knowledge from a corporate background and will just blow you away. The customer-centric concept, the customer journey, you name it. He's been doing this CMO thing for a while now. We won't date you and say how long, because Timothy and I were dating ourselves earlier, talking about how long we remember phones coming out or something. So, but Joel brings so much knowledge. You've got a whole team supporting you, and you've got some systems in place. I know we've had some fun conversations too, and I bring you in on my projects all the time. So great collaborator. Joel, I'm excited. What are you talking to us about today?
Well, I think what's interesting, we've had a lot of conversations in recent months, of course, around AI and the way people are leveraging it. But what I wanted to really bring out today is the relationship of a CMO and how that interacts in this AI era. And so, one of the topics that we often kind of ignore is what's the real value of intuition and what drives inspiration to direct the AI prompts and to direct the refinement of the AI-driven content. So I kind of just have a nice overview on how that all interplays.
Ooh.
I know he always brings the A game with the top overview that you're like, man.
I love learning. And whenever we get experts and experienced people in the room, you always pick up one or two things from each person, and it's sort of an iteration on what they call the Socratic method of learning, where you ask a lot of questions and then a lot of really good, solid information nuggets get dropped on the table, and then you can sort of pull what you need from that conversation. So, Joel, how did you get into the space to begin with? Like, what's your background for the audience that, as far as the folks that don't know you?
Yeah. Well, I think what's kind of fun in my journey is having spent a number of years in the corporate marketing world. I had the privilege of working in the human behavior side, or what I call the human side of business. And so when you talk about what really drives profits in a company, it's people. And it can be an expense or it can be a profitable venture, right? And we know that the return on an investment of an employee's hour is anywhere from 4-to-1 to 10-to-1. So as we're looking at what's the value of that employee, what's called a production value, right? We have to say, okay, what behaviors affect that, and how can we optimize these behaviors to increase the most production value, right? And so we have everything from automations to tools and things that make people's jobs easier and their workplace more happy and so on. And so from the incentive industry, which is behavior rewards, we see everything from consumer incentives, take a cruise for buying this product, to employee incentives, which just simply says make fewer mistakes and we all make more money. It could be shortages, right? It could be overages. It could be accuracy, right? There's lots of things. Workflow, the time it takes to send a document from the front of the house to the back of the house and back to the front again, right? There's all of these things that we optimize along the way. And so my real passion was, okay, if we're doing this at the corporate level, how does that mid-size regional company take advantage of these things where they don't have a huge staff? They don't have 20 people in production and 20 people in a front office to really do it right. So by bringing the knowledge in and working as a fractional executive, meaning, we come in, do a project part-time, it's not a full-time hire. How do we take the skill set of what corporate is doing to optimize their production values and bring it down to where people are using their profits to influence their community, build parks, sponsor little league teams. There's all kinds of ways, dance troops, right? Lots of fun things that they do inside their community, join their Rotary, participate in senior centers. There's lots of things like that. And that's largely driven with the mid-sized regional companies. So where corporate structure has some community development people out there that are doing some nice things in the community, it's generally that mid-sized company that has the passion for their local area to create jobs and provide more resources. So that's what's driven me into this space.
What about your background? Like, how did you even start out? Like, where did you come from? Like, where did this awesomeness called Joel Snyder come from?
Excuse me. Well, it's funny because I started as an ad salesman doing ads in a local weekly newspaper. We had a little newspaper in the community, and we went around to the local car dealerships and used car lots and put their ads in, and the carpet stores and all of those things. So it was fun to kind of cut your teeth on sales and the advertising world and the marketing world. And so kind of worked my way up, and then in doing that, got in with the rewards, providing actual rewards to employee groups for safety and small stuff. Then was captured by the larger marketing companies, Carlson Marketing Group, Certificates companies, and some of those to do work for them and educate their distributors on a regional level. So I covered the 13 Western United States and got to work with some really great people on very large corporate programs. And so that's where, the evolution has come for me.
Love it. That speaks a lot to your breadth of knowledge and your background as it relates to helping people. Even as we jump into some of your presentation today, you ready to rock and roll? Let's have some fun.
Let's do it. So again, just kind of a little bit about the background. We've over 40 years now of experience in sales and marketing, and we've constructed a team that is now running managed campaigns, because there are three main elements. You're going to hear about this a lot today: predictable, profitable, and scalable. So we need a multi-layered approach in order to inform our growth pathway. And so as we kind of look at this, what's really our vision as a company is to give you a trusted advocate, because in the end, a lot of agencies out there are selling packages, right? Buy our SEO package, buy our website campaigns, buy our email, our LinkedIn outreach, and so on. right? And that's all fine and good. And we need specialists in those areas. But when it comes to what's going to effectively grow your business, we need to look at strategies that kind of cut through the noise, that create a scalable result by implementing good emotional connections, again, modifying people's behaviors so that we get conversion actions, right? Things that actually are going to move the needle for a company to help them on their growth path. So my vision was to redefine the marketing agency relationship. We want to provide a gold standard of client advocacy so that we're not spending just to spend. We want to be fiduciaries on your budget. We know that marketing and advertising costs is your grocery money. It comes right off the bottom line. And if you're not seeing a return on that investment, then you might as well go sit on a beach and let's just be friends, right? Because in the end, business is about turning a profit. So we want to transform marketing into measurable growth. And that's where our behavior modification strategies are understanding which tools are going to influence the right audience to take the right action at the right time. Those are our way of building long-lasting and trusted-based relationships. So what informs our work? Well, we know that we have to create everything from a bespoke process, meaning that as an executive leader in your company, there are ways that you do business. And we want to create campaigns that amplify and actually enhance the way you do business. So if you have a lead generation follow-up system, I don't want to sell you another lead generation follow-up system. We want to enhance and inform the one that you have, right? So that you're not trying to relearn all the time another person's thing. And then when you get tired of it, you got to relearn a whole new system all over again, right? So we want to first find the one that you're the most comfortable with and then inform that. So again, we have our predictability, we have our profitability. All of this is informing the growth pathway. So again, just eliminating the noise, being laser focused on what's going to move the needle and what layers do we need to affect to find the audience and influence them. So, we don't work with hundreds and hundreds of clients. We have over the years, but within a given year, we try to keep our focus to about 30 to 40 key accounts. And with that, we notice that our retention rates are much higher. We get tons of new projects from our current clients because they now are trusting us and they understand that we're not just out to spend their money. And our model is very flat fee oriented. So it's not the more you spend in ads, the more money we make. The last thing I want is an incentive to spend your ad dollars. What I want is a proven growth plan that says, if you give me $1 and I give you $4 back, how many dollars are you willing to give me? Right? And then with our flat fee schedule, our services become lesser and lesser a part of the conversation because your growth is being returned on your ad dollars and your investment. So by having this model of being very bespoke, very specialized, we can still be extremely affordable, but show you relational growth to inform your marketing budget moving forward. We do have a team, as Christine mentioned. We've got content creators. We have LinkedIn outreach people. Ada is my, I call her my welfare agent. She makes sure that I'm well and being fair, everybody. And of course, our executive vice president of sales there in my arms with his groovy sunglasses on, informing the team on what happens next. So we do have a good implementation team to support any of the campaigns that we put in. One of the things that I have a slogan that it says, don't give the client a task. So when we sit down and inform a strategy, we don't tell the client, okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks, go do your homework, right? We say, okay, we're going to go do the homework and we'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll have a check-in and continue to inform the process. So, but why do you need a CMO? I mean, we got AI, right? We got agents, we got resources, and you're going to see today, all throughout the day, lots of different ways to answer that question, right? What do I need next? How can I perform better? How can I optimize my workflow systems? Well, one of the things that we have to remember is that set it and forget it is not a thing. Okay, it's just not a thing. People, when the agencies want to put an ad campaign in and we'll see you in a month to check in and show you how we're doing. No, what we have to do is we have to inform that ad strategy every day, whether it's doing right or it's not doing right. And we need to also look at attribution. So these little graphs here, if you can see that top one in the right says website activity overview, what it's saying is over the course of this 30-day period, look at all the different fluctuations that happen every day, right? From new users to engagement levels to repeat users, right? All of these things are happening every day on the website that we don't really pay much attention to because we have our business to run. So a CMO is watching this every day and saying, okay, what's influencing it? On this other graph just below that, it says page, right? Google Analytics pages. How many page views? What pages are people going to? If you can see, number 4 says the thank you page. That informs us that people are going through the lead generation process, right? So we can see the activity, we can see that, and then on the left side, I've got sources because we actually want to know where people are coming from, right? So my second bullet there about attribution matters. It matters because it informs the growth plan, right? We want to have predictability. Informed marketing leads to predictability. And the only way to grow is to have a profit. But you can't create profit if you can't predict the outcome. I talk about things like critical mass. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Okay. And I'm not dating myself because they brought that 60s ad back again last year. I saw it. I was like, okay, I can use it again. But if we know predictability, how many licks it takes, then we can tell you how much money you can make for that dollar that you just gave me to spend on ads, right? So attribution matters. And then we break it down into 2 categories, ROI versus ROAS. So what that means is you have an investment and you want to know what the return on your investment is in general on the marketing scheme of things, right? You have labor costs, you have subscriptions, you have tracking software, all of those things. That's all part of the marketing cost. So we're going to come to an ROI number eventually. But ROAS is your return on ad spend. And this is where I was saying, if you give me $1 and I give you $4 back, that's a return on your ad spend. So we can say from here how to scale, right? If we know that our return on ad spend is working and we know what the layers are, we know where people are coming on the website, we know where the sources are coming from, right? Those then give us a story. And this is where people miss the mark on data, because data tells a story. If you only look at data, it's a silo of indecision, because on this one screen, I'm seeing activity, but it's not informing how we're making money. It's only telling me one aspect of the business process. People came to my website. Who cares? right? You can have 1,000 people on your website. If they don't convert, they don't engage, it doesn't matter, right? But if they've come and they've visited and they took an action, and we saw that that source of that action came through one of our ad channels, now it's starting to tell a story. The marketing message that we put out in our marketing channels created a reaction. Okay. So it's not just build it, they will come. Now it's how do we convey our marketing message in a way that generates a behavioral reflection. And that could be an emotional connection. It could be a deep discount, right? There's lots of different ways to influence behavior. But in the B2B space in particular, it has to do with pain, right? Or let's solve a problem, or I understand this is an issue around growth. This is how we solve it, right? Those are all things that tell our story as to how the marketing is doing. The data informs it, lets us know what channels are influencing it, but the story is the one that we're looking at, and that's what informs our growth path. So we have layers now, we have trends, and it informs opportunities. One of the things that we do in a marketing assessment is many times we'll talk to the client's customer. And after talking with the customers, we generally uncover opportunities that the client never knew existed, right? And it could be, gosh, I didn't know you guys did that. It could be, God, it would be really great if you guys could do this, right? And by taking that story back to the client, we can now create an informed opportunity. Is there a market for this? Is it something we can do? Do we have the resources to support that, right? We had a nice client conversation yesterday. We were working in aerospace in the marine industry, and then they brought up the idea of oil and gas. Can we work in oil and gas? And so once we started looking at what assets would be required for them to adapt into that market, they realized, yeah, we do have it. They also had some tooling that was going on in their factory that could apply to something different that their clients aren't even considering, right? So informed opportunities, that comes from this engagement layer, it comes from trends in the data, but this is all part of informing the story. So leads to predictability. Marketing leads to predictability. Once we have that, now we can talk about profit. So if we've got profits coming back into the company from the marketing that we're doing, can we take half of that profit and reinvest it back into marketing? We want to make money, so we need to retain earnings, right? But we also want to amplify our growth channels. So what percentage of that profit can we put back? And we like to say, let's split it. You know, what the heck? And for some, you know, it's a straight percentage of revenue. For others, it's a percentage of profit. So we just have to have that conversation to understand what works best for the client, right? Because we know profit provides for growth. So how can we reinvest that in ways that will amplify our growth? And sometimes we use ad revenue to amplify organic activity. So maybe we want to take some of that profit and now put on a community event, do a 10K run, right? There are lots of different ways for fundraising, right? Be involved in the community in some way. Let's put our name on a park, right? There's lots of different ways that you know that we can use the profits that build up your organic activity. We have a great SEO partner, and I believe he'll even be presenting here today, Tim at Maxify Pro, and he and I, when we sit down with a joint client, we partner on a lot of programs. We talk about that customer journey and how we can continue to use ads to inform the organic activity. So when these two come together, we see exponential lift, not just a one-to-one relationship. So if you're doing organic in a silo, there's no way you could be as effective as combining it with an advertising strategy. Same holds true in the other way. You can have a great advertising strategy. And we had a client a few years ago that was doing webinars. He would do a 4-hour webinar, right? And we would drive ads and we would drive people, and they was getting people. They'd come in, they were doing live events, all of that good stuff, but they had no foundation on their SEO. So the website activity was all driven by monetization, right? So when you don't have the two working together, they were losing a ton of organic ability to find and retarget and keep relationships going off the ad platform, right? We have to have those two things together so that in the long term, organic grows to the point to where it's having its influence on profits as much as ads are, and sometimes we can pull back on an ad spend when we see organic growth doing great things. One of the things that we had done recently is we do banner ads right to the local community based on showing their ads on television, streaming TV, and so on. And there's a lot of really fun kind of things you can play with there. We can actually take a high-performing Facebook ad or Facebook post and stream that to TV. So now it's on connected television. They see this incredible Facebook video, and now their Facebook page is blowing up. We can then pixel that ad and track it all the way back to walking into their showroom. And we've done all of those things now. So when we say that the two work together, you can see if I invest in ads and now it's on their streaming TV and they walk into my showroom, that showroom walk-in is an organic activity, although influenced through advertising, right? But if you don't have the showroom, they got to know where to walk into, right? So now you're limited to how people can interact with you. So those are the biggest things that when we talk about why a CMO is important, because someone has to pull all of these layers together to tell your story, right? You need someone that understands and is intuitive to use the tools that are available to optimize the workflows, to inform the data, and then turn that into a strategy or inform the strategy for growth. So I've said a lot. I'd love to open it up for any questions. If there's any deep dive area that we want to go into, I'm happy to do that. This QR code will take you to freeideasession.com. Anyone can book 30 minutes with me at no charge to talk about their strategy and look at what some of those options are. Also on my website, I have this free download, which is optimizing your content for voice and AI search. And it's just a nice 3-page article to give you some direction on what to consider. And so those things are there. And then, of course, there's phone numbers and emails, and all roads lead to Rome. And I'd be happy to spend time with anyone that would like to have that deep dive.
CoaxConsulting.com, COAX. And I do have to brag about you a little bit, Joel. Our working with our few clients that we work with, Sacramento and beyond, have been pretty amazing results. Like one company, I think we've added $1 million to their top line revenue over the last 7 or 8 years. You've been a big part of that in the last few years, and so I just want to thank you for putting food on the table for the clients, for our families, and just making sure that the messaging is getting out there properly. You're a man of integrity. You do what you say what you do. You have a great team. And I know this firsthand, not secondhand. And so I want to just let everybody know that if you don't take a picture of that QR code, you're a little bit crazy, because Joel is somebody you want to at least look up on LinkedIn or do something to keep him in your circle of awesomeness, so that you can call on him, connect with him, grab a 20-minute phone call, grab a quick Zoom chat with him, and for those who are listening here today, that am I understanding that there won't be a charge for that, Joel? Is that correct?
Not only is there not a charge, but I will buy the coffee.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it comes with coffee, even better. And I have to second what you said, Timothy, because I've sent clients and he's my go-to for ads. And he always just does such a fantastic job.
I love what you said about ROI versus ROAS or ROAS, and not everybody knows the difference. And we always want a good ROI in general, and that's what you produce. But then when it gets down to ads, that can get really costly really quickly, but it can also be very profitable very quickly. So I love how you break that down, bring all the numbers. You're a metrics-driven professional, and I want to highlight that because if your marketing team isn't bringing their numbers at least once a month, you might have hired a friend, and that's a good place to start, but at some point you got to get into the metrics. Like, you got to get into the numbers. And so either things are working or they aren't. And Joel's just taken my game to another level by pushing making sure the numbers are available and clear and easy to understand. I mean, he uses imagery and all these little green dots and all these different things on the projects that we work on. And that's a story for another day, but it's super fun to work with Joel. And I recommend taking a quick picture of that screen right there, or looking Joel up on LinkedIn or some other place. And Joel Snyder, SNYDER, ladies and gentlemen. So really appreciate you. Any other last thoughts, Joel, on what we've been sort of discussing here?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I can't tell you how honored and privileged I am to hear those words and to have these relationships. It really has done a lot for me and in my business as well. And I just want to respond in kind and say thank you to both of you for the influence that you've provided. And likewise, being able to tap into your all's genius, we can't do it all. It's kind of like raising a child, it takes a village. And marketing is such a broad category that, not one person is going to be the best at everything, right? So having these strategic partnerships to help build businesses is extremely important. And
Joel, can you share a little bit about how being part of the Giver Marketing Network has affected your business from a metric standpoint, team members, growth, and both team members and some sort of revenue, maybe percentage wise? Like, how have things been going?
So I can tell you firsthand. I started in the network is now well over 100 members or whatever it is. Within that group, the one thing that was important to me was to be able to grow my agency with specialists that are good at something, right? In particular that needed. So moving a project forward. And in agency growth, it can happen a couple different ways. But for me, it was about starting with a high-level professional on a project. And then informing and learning and understanding and keeping them close to us and allowing that training to then become a staff member in our company, and what's important or how we can support it so that these knowledge professionals are, they're generally not, they're going to do a job, but they're not going to do the whole job, right? So you need to have a support team that works with these professionals that can implement, right, and execute, and then bring back the conversation. So Christine can tell you what a good website looks like. She can build you a great website, but somebody still has to provide content, provide blog articles, right? All of those things. And so having a content team to be able to inform someone like Christine, she's going to make a great output, right? And so that's where the network has been really instrumental is for us to have those different elements available when we need it, where we need it. And
Yep.
so our agency has grown. Well, we doubled since COVID. We've doubled our capacity, both with employees and in clients.
It's been really fun to watch since we've started working together, and the team sort of developing, and your determination to serve clients well. And it's been fun to watch just about everything I've seen you put your hands on double. And whether that's your team doubling, your revenue doubling, you're helping your clients' revenue doubling at different times in different ways for different reasons. And so just watching that sort of that Midas touch sort of happen with the help of the support of a network, support of some resources, and just some encouragement, like, hey, you got this, man. Like, we got this. Like, let's do it together. And filling in those gaps. I come from a sports background, so I'm always like, where's my starters? Where am I? Where's my bench? My deep bench to sort of come in as needed. And how do we go win a championship? Like that's sort of like how I think, and I, right or wrong, like that's just how I think. And so, and in this case, we're playing for the client. Like, we want the client to win. We want them to really be the champion or the hero in the story. And we're there to sort of coordinate, orchestrate, coach, consult, and like you said, sort of bring that marketing genius or CMO level strategy to the game. And it's so fun to match with the right clients. And if it's not a perfect match, then maybe we hand them off to somebody else that maybe they're more local. They want to see somebody in person, or maybe they're have a specific background or a certain tone of voice, or whatever it is. Whatever's best for the client, we need to make that happen. So, and that's what I love about working with both of you, Christine and Joel here. And so, yeah, seeing all that that doubling of all the key metrics it kind of gets me up in the morning, gets excited. It gets exciting. So it's,
well, and to you as well, Timothy. I mean, you've built your passion to build this network and to bring in good people, allows that process to happen. And so it's been fun watching your mentorship across the group and the advice that you give both the solopreneurs and the agency teams alike to really do well. So
yeah, we were talking earlier about sharpening each other's saws as we enter into the forest of awesome, of the forest and the journey. So, Christine, what do you got for us next? Thank you again, Joel. Everybody look Joel Snyder up.
My pleasure. Yeah, so great to see you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joel. Oh, goodness. There's always something fun going on. Now, we've got, not quite yet, but you mentioned Tim Palmer. He's coming up pretty soon. But I think in between, we probably want to go ahead and share a little bit more about what we're up to today. I'm going to pull up our summit, and here's some pictures of some of our people that are going to be talking. So we've already heard from a couple of them, and we've got more to go. So if you see here, there was Joel, we've got, let's see, Kiesha's already gone, right? Tim Palmer's coming up. But I think what we really need to do is talk a little bit about the blueprint. That's kind of where this all started. And for me, when you first talked to me about the blueprint, I was like, ooh, tell me more. I have to admit, that was one of the things that enticed me into the network, was the idea of having a standard blueprint where we could all speak the same language, right? And it makes sense. And I know you've got a new book coming out based on that also. So you've got lots of exciting things going on, Timothy. I think you need to share with us.
All right. So I know that Tim Palmer, I'm excited to, every time I listen, this summit is so fun because it's like reading 7 or 8 books all at one time. And you sort of learn from each of the speakers and what their new thing is that they've been kind of focused on recently, and some timeless principles and all that. How much time do we have?
Well, I laugh because our speakers are so excited to be here. They're all here like early. And I love this. I love overachievers. We have a whole group of overachievers. So Tim, he's not even supposed to talk for another half hour, but he's here now. I don't know if he wants to start early or if we want to talk about the blueprint first.
Which Tim? Which Tim are we going to go with, Mr.
Right?
Palmer?
Many right answers. Tim Palmer, are you ready? Do you want to rock and roll? I think that's a thumbs up. Was that what I got? All right, let's do it.
Oh, let's go, Mr. Palmer. Come on.
Hello.
Well, your ears burning because we were just talking about you. Joel Snyder was just talking and mentioning some of the people that he loves collaborating with on the team. He brought your name up. We're excited about what you're sharing today.
Oh, Joel's been great to work with. We
Great
have
segue.
a
Great
good
segue.
number of programs. Yeah. So, and that's part of where, automation happens, and AI has been really great for people. Cause I got a text from you, and I assume you weren't sitting here texting me, right? It's time to join. So I joined early, and I like to join early. But the other piece of it is I was talking with somebody starting a roofing company coming up. And just this morning, Joel and I were talking to them about some of the things they needed to get their business started. And they're like, well, where would we use AI? We don't want it talking to our people. We're like, that's great. But what about your Facebook? You have these Facebook ads. You want to capitalize on those now, right? AI could be chatting with them. They don't know they're chatting with AI. It's probably doing a better job than you or I could do. But it's getting into them, all day, every day. It's not like it takes lunch. It doesn't sleep. There's all kinds of way AI is just affecting the way that we do business, and we're probably interacting with it more often than we think we do.
We're probably going to have a little bit of a roundtable discussion around some of these topics because it's so vitally important. It's sort of like when electricity happened or computers happened, or like it's just or the printing press, or like whatever analogy you want to use. But Tim, I'm really curious if you could share. The audience, probably some of them know you, some don't. Where did you come from? Like, what's your background? How did you get started doing what you're doing?
No, it's a good question. My background really was in sales and services. Worked with big companies, McKesson, Phillips, a lot of medical space, a lot of legal space that I worked with. But I also come from a family of local businesses. My dad did tractor business, landscaping, grading. I remember the summers, 120-degree heat. I'm out there cleaning out construction sites and helping with them as a teenager. So it's kind of like I have that experience that I've gained on my own, but my local roots are with the locals, like the near me businesses.
Yep.
And to me, when I wanted to go from I work for these really big companies to I feel like I have a place where I could help local businesses. And I made the switch from like sales to marketing. I wanted to focus on helping local businesses, the small guys, win against the big guys. To me, that was really an important thing and something that many don't feel like they can do until they actually see it happening. You
wanted to level that playing field.
Absolutely.
I love that about you. And we've worked on several projects together. And I know that you and your family, I mean, wasn't there like a brick oven, like an oven business or something? Tell us about that business. I'm just curious about it.
No, and the funny thing is I haven't even applied these things to that yet, but I'm about to, right? Because I didn't know if I wanted to. Like, I have a second business, which is Good Life Pizza Company. So Good Life Pizza Co., like goodlifepizza.co. But I do wedding catering and other kinds of catering like that. In fact, I have a job Friday where local medical practice. I say practice, but it's actually a pretty big group. Hired me to provide lunch for 200 staffers.
Ooh, that's a lot of pizza, brother. I just like hearing stories about local businesses succeeding and family businesses. And so I don't know. I think it's a fun fact about Tim Palmer. I just think it's really fun. So anyway, but so what's the topic for today, and what visual do we have any visuals today, or what's the topic for today?
We do. We have a PowerPoint that Christine should be able to bring up for us.
All right.
But realistically, it's kind of like AI and SEO, because right now it's one of these things where people are like, should I do SEO? Should I do GEO? Should I do AIO? Like, we'll kind of cover all
Ooh,
those
what
things.
does that mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And what are
Yes.
those things when people hear it, and what's the difference? And part of it, so this is just some teasers, but I'd love Christine bring it up and we can talk it through. But one of the big catalysts recently, even like, how does this all come together, AI and local business, local search, is a move that happened recently with between Apple and Google. A very strange marriage.
Very strange. Yes.
But do you have that PowerPoint for us, Christine? No.
She's working. She's working on something, but I don't know if we have it right this second. Tim, do you happen to have it on your?
I do.
On your side?
Yeah, one second.
If you click the little plus button in the bottom section of your screen there,
I'm on it. We're almost there.
We might be able to do some visuals today with you, but that'll be helpful. But either way, that you just got my ears really burning. Like, okay, so AGI. What was the other one?
Think of it as, SEO, GEO, AEO.
AEO, GEO, SEO. I'm sorry, I said AGI. I was thinking of another thing I was learning about earlier, but that's a couple of years out. So that's funny. Well, yeah, those terms are sort of like the marriage of your skill set, your expertise of search engine optimization meets the new way people are finding information, the new way people are finding location, restaurants, locations, businesses, events, even all these different things. We all have more information at our fingertips than we probably have 1,000 times information at our fingertips than we did even like 3 years ago.
Right.
And so if you just think about that, the sheer volume of information, we have to be able to have these little shortcuts and think of it from a business. And I'm just setting the stage for what we're going to be talking about here, Tim, but think about it from a business perspective. Like, we don't want to be the best kept secret in town. Like, that's not our goal. And Tim Palmer solves that problem. And so when it comes to new ways of looking for businesses, new ways of getting your maps to jump up, new ways to find, where you're going, or what are my options as far as shopping for XYZ, this is so important. I don't know how much business we're leaving on the table by not learning from people like you, Tim. So I just appreciate you, and we'll bring up that visual here and rock and roll.
I actually realized that's the wrong one. So I apologize. I have two that are very close, and 1 second here.
Oh, you just got
my bad.
Sneak peek of his business name. Okay. So Maxify, look him up. Look up Tim Palmer even now as he's finding his visuals and all that. Tim, do you prefer LinkedIn or are you a Facebook guy?
Either one's fine. Yeah, so either one. I love them both. Cool.
So check Tim Palmer out on LinkedIn or Facebook, and he'll respond to you. There's his information there. But share with us a little bit about your family, your background, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, perfect. So part of it is, you mentioned the whole family thing and family business. What I believe is that most entrepreneurs who have these local businesses, near me businesses, right? They're family people, and I want for others what I want for myself. Right? I want to be able to provide for my family, and I also want to make a meaningful contribution to my community. And so what I feel like my success in my business has given me is ability, as you see my family top left there. I have a son and 3 daughters, and then daughter-in-law, Katrina, you see in the wedding dress, she got married last year. She does my onboarding for some of my clients with their Google business profile. So she works for me. Also on the bottom left, I'm there with hiking with, we're doing some canyoneering here in Arizona with a church youth group. So every week and, some weekends I'm doing some sort of activity with them. You see on the right, that's my Good Life Pizza Co., where my other daughter, Katie, we mainly do it for her and her friends, right? It's like they love doing it and something for them to make some extra money, and they just have a blast. And it's like a little party with it. They get paid to attend.
Love the side businesses. Those are so fun.
Right. And then last year, I inherited a special needs daughter. My in-laws passed away, and she's you could see the same background I have here. She actually will sit a lot with me, next to me, and just likes to wave to my clients, and she's just part of the Maxify family. And there's a little logo you see in the middle where it is College Bound AZ. I'm actually on the board of a nonprofit organization where we help underprivileged kids basically break the cycle of poverty through higher education, whether that's university, whether it's trade school, anything like that. So it's just another way where having a successful business allows you to give more to your family and give more to your community, because you're not as stressed in, how am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to pay my mortgage? And that's, like I said, I want for others the same as I want for me. I want to help businesses turn their businesses around. And that's why I love what I do.
Love it. Go ahead and take the slides there, Tim, and go at your own pace, and let me know if you have any issues with that.
Perfect. Can we switch over to the other slide deck though? I uploaded a second one.
Is this the right one?
No, that's the wrong one. Okay.
There it is.
I think I did that other one on another Tuesday event.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, I can run through both of them, but just kidding. They're both about AI. They're just different things. Okay, so same start. This is what I was talking about, right? So Apple's Siri, right? They've been working on incorporating AI into Siri, not very successfully, right? And what does that mean? I mean, the difference between Siri being able to say, "Hey, where's a restaurant near me? What's a good restaurant near me?" Right. As opposed to, "Hey, what are the way that people talk to AI is very different, and so it's got to be affecting the way that people are talking to Siri, right?" So instead of just like, "Hey, what's a good restaurant near me?" right? It's like, who should I talk to about this leak I'm having, or I have these spots on my wall. What could that be? There's all these things that they could do, and they could send a picture to it, and the AI goes into it and says, this is what it is. This is what you could be experiencing. But AI it's more than a simple query, because when you send a query to AI, it not only thinks about what's the answer, but what are probably the next 3 or 4 questions you're going to ask. So it's a deeper thing than what Siri has done historically. But it's like, hey, here's this. Would you like me to ask, would you like me to do that? You might also want to think about this. So they've been apparently failing at the AI part of Siri enough where they reached out to Google or made the agreement with Google, where Google now is going to be the AI engine behind Siri. Google's Gemini is going to be the AI engine powering Siri. How crazy is that, right?
Didn't see that one coming.
I would never have seen that coming, right? But they announced it back several months ago, but it sounds like made it official within the past 2 weeks. But the question is, what does that mean to a near me business, right? So moving forward, and part of it is, part of the answer comes into what is the difference between SEO, right? Search traditionally has meant search engine optimization, generative engine optimization, or AI engine optimization, right? That's kind of what you're looking at those. But part of the answer is found in what are those and what's the difference? Well, let's say there's not much of a difference, right? Even in fact, if you were to you get all these things, and I think it's more clickbait than anything, where people like AI SEO is dead, right? Now it's GEO. It's like, okay, well, if one of those people, if that was a friend of yours, and you asked them, hey, tell me 10 differences between GEO and SEO, they'd probably unfriend you, right? There isn't much of a difference. It's basically how you do the SEO things. And they say, oh, it's different because you do this. well, that's SEO, right? It's different because you do this. It's just, it becomes more important how you do SEO as opposed to some brand new thing overall. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would view it like SEO is the general term
Mm-hmm.
that we are all shooting for, and how you do your search these other terms could come into play based on how people do their searches. And you're the expert that I would hire, that I have hired, to come in and make sure this happens without missing too many people trying to find my business or my location or my event or whatever it is. And to me, SEO still needs to be at the top of that list because it's a general term. But that's just my 7th grade brain thinking about it.
Right.
And for our audience, just to sort of, okay, so searching for something.
Yeah.
How do I want to show up? And then there's these other like newer ways of doing that. And Tim knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. When someone searches AI versus like a traditional Google search, on their side, there's a change in the way that they ask the question. Instead of, search term near me or search term, right? That were the keyword. Like, it's just they're talking to AI like it's a friend. And the funny thing is, what I notice when people have called me, either from Google or from AI recommendations, or they call my business, it's like they say it's a difference of I found you on Google versus ChatGPT told me to call you. So from the end user's perspective, it's interesting. It's just changed the way that they are behaving. But SEO versus GEO versus AEO, it's how we structure the data on the back end so that it's more AI friendly, AI engine friendly, like the LLM friendly, using a big nerd term, right, with LLM. But when we look at what does SEO stand for, like in traditionally search engine optimization, it really should have just been Google optimization, right, for the most part. But now we're looking at search everywhere optimization. So the things that you're doing on Facebook really matter, right? Because it's not just looking at Google. Google was just looking at Google, but now Google AI, right? Gemini, whether it's Gemini or AI mode of a Google search, they're looking everywhere. They're looking not only at Google reviews, but they're looking at reviews across the internet. They're not just looking at your website, but they're looking at directories across the internet. We'll go a little bit more into that because as people are looking everywhere, and that's happening more and more also, they're not just looking at Google. They're not just looking at your Facebook, things like that. They're looking all over the place. That's why AI is doing the same thing, right? And so a lot of those, your Facebook and TikTok, Instagram, they're actually links built in there should be, right? Built into your Google business profile where you can link to these things so that Google knows, okay, that's where I need to look. They don't have to search for it or guess the wrong business. You're telling them this is where I'm posting. And it is looking for that. And we're seeing more and more examples where even in your Google business profile, it's bringing in data from, you have every Thursday night a restaurant does karaoke. The Google business profile might suggest that to a viewer, like, hey, tonight's karaoke night. Like, that's the kind of stuff that Google, even from the profile, is starting to do, and they're testing it out because they know they can do that because you posted it on your social media. So there's all these different things, but there's other directories across the internet. Here's just a small example of them. Some of them, Yellow Pages, you've probably heard of it, right? And I get a lot of that, like Yellow Pages is still around. Yes. And they're a major directory that you need to have your business on. Your business must be on Yellow Pages because, again, it's a trusted brand where Google and AI, ChatGPT, Claude, any of these, they're going to go look there and make sure that you're a legitimate business. Else, why wouldn't you be there unless you're not a legitimate business? But, obviously Bing and Better Business Bureau and Yelp and Facebook, anywhere that you can. And then there's some of these Silex and things like that. They're actually like consolidators where they're pushing, you get on in theirs and they're pushing your data out to a whole bunch of these different type of directories.
I feel sorry for businesses that haven't been updating this.
Right.
Because AEO or the AI search engine trends and just overwhelmingly, just I would say it this way, that the ease by which people can search through AI now,
Right.
it's sort of starting to eat at the market share of the traditional search. And I'm sure you'll address that later, but the people that haven't been updating these directories and citations and just different things, I have a soft spot in my heart. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to get really messy, and you need to update this now, because if you don't, you're not only, maybe you were behind already, now you're in last place. Like there's no, like, it's really hard to catch up if you don't start doing this stuff pretty quick. And you can do it with a professional like Tim Palmer, but it takes a long time to try to do it yourself if you haven't been updating these already. So get it done. Like, find a way, get it done, get started. Start yourself if you want, but Tim Palmer can kind of expedite all that. But you have to be listed on these type of, this is a long play, right, Tim? It's not.
It is.
It's not like, oh, I'm just going to do this once and it'll benefit for a month or two. No, you keep it updated, keep it maintained, and it's a long play. People will find you for years and years and years to come, whether AI does this or SEO does this. This is the foundation right here, right?
This is really good. And the important thing is that the information is universal across all of them.
Come on.
And Google used to make that was a really big deal, that your business name, if you have LLC in one place, you need to have it every place, right? If you don't have LLC, you don't have LLC anywhere, right? They need to be the same across. And that used to be super important in the old days of Google. And then it fell off. It wasn't very important, right? Because Google, I mean, they're smart enough to know these. But with AI, it feels like it's become more important again, where let's make sure that it's your business name, the address, the phone number, your URL, like everything that you put into these is universal across the board as much as possible, so that you are like, so it makes it as, you don't want to make these computers have to think any more than they are. They're going to make quick assumptions. You got to make sure that they're making the right quick assumptions.
Well said.
Immediately.
Well said.
And if you're not doing it, it's like they say down south, bless your heart. You really
bless your heart.
All right. So the point here is, where do decisions happen? And this is part of the reason why AI is going out and looking at all these things, right? Because we're looking at these things because we make different decisions in different places, right? What to click, that's going to be your Google, and then of course there's others, Bing's in there, things like that. But what to click, Google drives initial discovery. What's new, social media, right? And what to think, right? That's why you have YouTube and podcasts that shape our opinions, right? Who to trust, reviews, so huge on that. And Reddit has just become amazing. Like, people are like, well, I see what's going on the internet, but I want to go talk to all the Redditors, right? And trust what their experiences have been. What to believe, unfortunately, is where AI is playing such a big part. I mean, as much as ChatGPT hallucinates, it's like having a guide that hallucinates. But ChatGPT and AI in general help people. That's the difference, right? I found you on Google, or AI told me I need to call you. So I have to do what AI told me. What you buy, that's where your shops and things like that are a big deal. But decisions happen in all different kinds of places, and that's why AI is going and looking at all of those places. And we need to be as many of those places that make sense to our business, so that we can influence customers in the way that we need to influence them. All right, so where to start? All right, I believe that there's no one product that does all of these things, right? And every business is different. Every business type is different. And so I believe we need a framework to use as a lens of which to analyze business needs, and to recommend to them the type of services that will do them the most good. right? So first thing I do with people is I analyze and discuss with them their marketing foundation. The purpose of the marketing foundation is to establish credibility. So when they do get found, all the effort and money they're spending and getting found, they're seen as credible, right? This is your website. This is your Google business profile. This is at least like the conversion aspects of it. This is your reviews, not only on Google, but across the internet and the industry altogether. Let's say we have those things, or we have a plan to work on those things. Then it's the next thing is, let's assess how well you're getting found by active searchers, people who woke up today or something happened today that caused them to act as a catalyst to, I need to find a business that can help me solve a problem right now. That's where local SEO comes in, right? That's where AI search is. That's where Google Maps, getting found on Google Maps is. That's paid advertising. That's where Joel is so important and helps me with so many clients, is in that paid advertising. But think about this though, there's different kinds of paid advertising, but this is the get found pay advertising. This is the different type of Google ads, is the biggest place where we do this, where we make sure that their advertisement is seen by people who are looking for a solution right now. As opposed to the next level, that inspire level, where the goal is to amplify awareness and to inspire people that didn't wake up today going, I need this, right? Like this is huge for like coaches, and there's different type of businesses where they use social media to inspire people to realize that the status quo has changed, and they need to make a decision. They should look into this. They should do this. And that could be organic social media if you have enough followers, right? But you could do all the organic social media in the world, right? But if you have 20 followers, it's not going to get you much. And that's where you can expand your audience and inspire a greater number of people using that type of advertising, the social media advertising. So there are certain clients where they do better with active searcher paid advertising. There are other types of businesses that do better with Inspire. Most near me businesses can really benefit from a mixture of the two. And what Joel and I are also working on a lot more with clients is that client engagement piece. Back when I started my agency, I kind of was like, you know what, that's you, right? You're sending, that's where you need to ask for customer referrals, create strategic partnerships, do email marketing. And Joel and I have worked together to create more solutions for our clients in there. And a part of that is even what we started this conversation with, AI responding to posts on social media, AI sending out texts, AI helping us, with email campaigns that we're getting out there. Because too many people with social media, with that Inspire, they think, once I've inspired them, they're going to buy it right now. And that's just not the way life is, right? And really kind of the sales cycle, like, what is it? 90% of people don't buy right away. You're getting 4% of people right now. Well, what about that other 94%? You can put them into email campaigns and things like that drip campaigns and such, that you've already established yourself as a subject matter expert. Now you need to stay in front of them and strengthen your position as a subject matter expert to further inspire them to take action. But even more than that, and more important, is when they do finally decide to make that change or take action, do you want them to go do a Google search and go find someone else? No, you want to be in front of them and that's where the email campaigns and texts and things like that is, so that when you're the one that inspired them to even think about it. You've moved them down the journey in the way that you wanted to. So when they actually decide it's time to do it, they already have their subject matter expert. They just go to you. They don't go to Google or AI to ask for any help. So how do you get started with these things? First priorities, have a website, right? Have your Google business profile. Those are like, you have to. If you're a near me business, you have to have those things. Get your reviews, Google first, make sure you have, I tell people, you're not even relevant to anybody until you have at least 10 Google reviews. So like if you're a new business, get those now, right? And then once you get enough Google reviews, start focusing on getting reviews other places, because if you go look up any business and you'll see if they have reviews anywhere else, you'll see reviews coming in from those other places in the Google Business Profile. That's how important reviews are to Google. And all the more important with AI that you have reviews, not just in Google, but everywhere. So that's kind of the first priorities, as well as creating those consistent internet citation sources that we talked about. And, Facebook, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, like start there and then move on from there, right? But get the biggest players first and then get to those other ones. So once you've got those in there, let's say that's your where to start foundation, right? That's why we talk about foundational marketing. Then it's your other things. It's your SEO, it's your ads, if that makes sense, right? There's certain businesses where Google ads don't make sense. Work on the AI search results, inspire sources. And there are businesses like Joel and I have been working a lot with like water damage restoration and mold removal companies. Well, think about those two services. One of them, do you need any inspiration? If you just had, last year, a year ago, almost today, my hot water heater blew up, flooded my daughter's room, flooded the bathroom, like went in towards that house, flooded the garage. Do I need anyone to inspire me that I need that to get cleaned up, and I need, I need it to be dried out so I don't get mold? Do I need any inspiration for that? Zero, right? I just need to go find someone right now and bring them in and get the work done. So that's where the traditional local SEO, AI searches, Google ads for right now makes sense. But from the mold removal, that took time to get there, and it's showing up. And I might even take a picture, send it to AI and do some research, and maybe I'm going to do it. And I might let that go for a long time. Like people let it go for a long time. But that's where social media can actually help them inspire them, help them understand the health risks that they're taking, the damage, what you see this, but what damage is going on to your house beyond that, right? That's an example. Even the same business, for certain things or different types of businesses, some benefit more from active searches, some benefit more from the social media. That's why we have a framework to help people decide what's most important to them. And then obviously like the creating the email list, don't create an email list if you don't have these other things in place, right? That shouldn't be your number one focus. Get your priority work done first, and then move on to what is most important for your type of business. And then really that's it. There are AI is changing the way people search. And you need to optimize your local business, your near me business everywhere, because all of that is being considered by AI. It's being considered by Google, and realistically, it plays a part in how your customers are making a decision.
I just looked up Maxify Tim Palmer on my sort of my AI browser.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying a new browser just to see what what searches come up. It's called Comet, and you came up pretty good, man. I'm pretty impressed. And so, ladies and gentlemen, take a picture of that QR code there and write down one or two things you learned from Tim today. Have it ready when you talk with him on the phone. Have a couple of questions, and or on Zoom or however you guys set up your time together. But I love that search everywhere optimization. Let's get you to where people can find you easily, quickly, and you're not how did you say it, Tim? You're not making it hard for the search engines to bring you up. Like I forgot how you said it, but that was
I did
good
too. But basically, you're just making it as easy as possible for them to know exactly who you are. Don't leave it up to a computer to assume, oh, I got the right person, right? And it's interesting because when Maxify is a printer line, right? For that Lexmark, which is a big company. Like when I started my business, I thought I was making up the word Maxify. I realized, a couple other people had made up before me, including them, right? So everything that you found when you search Maxify was like Lexmark laser printers. Now you search, and at least when you do Maxify marketing, right? Definitely doesn't come up there. It's all me, right? Because I'm making sure that I'm out there and I'm ranking and I'm in places where Google can fill that whole top 10 spot with stuff that's Maxify marketing.
Yeah. Love it. And I do got to brag about you a little bit here. I had contacted you one day and I said, hey, we got a client we can help just down the road from you. Would you be willing to sort of take a special little trip and swing by his place? And above and beyond, my friend, you went over and sat with him and explained some things and helped him figure some things out. And whether you're doing that on Zoom or phone or in person, I know that that's you and how you do that. But in this particular case, he happened to have an office near you. So that worked out so well. And I just love the customer service, attention to detail, and the willingness to go above and beyond relationally. And so with that, I do recommend anybody who has any questions about how to be found, especially when it comes to local search engine optimization, but even national optimization. Tim will have some direction for you. He'll have some good questions to ask yourself. Do you really want a national presence? Do you really want a local presence? Is that a focus? Like, these kind of questions are going to really be answered by Tim, and we don't have time to go into it today, but ultimately you want to ask him those questions so that you can be found, whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit business or an event that you're having. You want to make sure those are coming up really, really well, especially just the way that I made that search for Tim Palmer, Maxify, ladies and gentlemen. Really appreciate you, my friend. And anything else to share as we wrap up?
I think people always, it's just that getting started is the hard part. Like the first conversation. And when I say no pressure conversation, like, I mean a no pressure conversation. Like I've had conversations with people in the end, I'm like, there's nothing I can do for you, right? But here's what you can do for you, right? And it's a matter of just helping businesses figure out what is the best next step. I've even had some where I said, we could work, there's some things I could definitely do to help you, but this is what you need to do to help yourself before I can have any success, right? Like get the 10 reviews, right? There's no use paying someone like me to do any work if you can't get 10 reviews. So no pressure conversation. I mean, if you want to be 15 minutes, you want to be 30 minutes, we have that conversation. And then my team goes out and we build like if it makes sense for you, we'll go out and do the research, do the deep dive research, build what I call a smart marketing playbook. You've got all kinds of data like that right there. I mean, it takes us probably 90 minutes to make, right? And that right there is worth the conversation to see where your near me business is ranking, how visible it is to the people. What are the keywords, right? What keywords should you be targeting? And how are people searching for you? All of that stuff, we bring it together and then put together a plan. I'm stealing Joel's language here. Like if I were spending my grocery money, what would I do? What would I spend my money on to grow my business?
Love it. Can you guys see that on the screen? Is that sharing right now?
Yeah. What are you showing us there, Timothy?
I just did a search in an AI browser.
Mm-hmm.
And Maxify marketing's coming up nice and clean. There's some videos coming up. I asked a follow-up question, Maxify marketing social pages. It started giving me a bunch of their social pages. There's like 13 more down here. And so I don't know. I just wanted to sort of give a show and tell of what would actually, happen as somebody looks for Tim Palmer or for your business or for somebody else's business. And it was a simple search, but but that's where we're headed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you a little glimpse into the future of how the browsers are going to be used. It's in the early days, but this is where rubber meets the road. This is where people start finding you, start calling you, messaging you, and all that. And so thank you again, Tim, for
Welcome.
lighting a fire under us to get our citations dialed in, our reviews above a certain amount to make sure that we look reputable online, which also helps the engines, and to make sure that we consider how people are searching for your product or service or business in today's economy and how that works. So thank you. Appreciate you, Tim. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you. Love you guys. It's so
All right.
much fun always talking with you.
Love having
you
you on
too.
the broadcast. So keep coming back.
Will do.
I love it. Well, Christine, we have a special networking time. If you can put that that summit page up on the screen there. We want
I
people.
was just thinking about that. I was thinking about how, we have another flyer if we wanted to, but
Yeah, do it.
it's hard to keep track. We have so many flyers from all the different people that we have speaking. I mean, we've had some great speakers so far, and I'm excited to see who shows up for the marketing option for the, getting marketers in the room, getting business owners in the room. There's a great opportunity to just network and get to know other people, because it's really all about, expanding your connections and who you're going to talk to.
Yeah.
So I love that. You know me, that's my heart is into the, like Tim Palm, we're talking about the small businesses, right? And being able to just talk to other business owners, that's kind of my place to play. So I think we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this.
So we're going to have a networking time coming up here in about 10 or 15 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah. So if they're not registered, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link. So the givemarketing.com, the connect one, I've got the direct link to register.
Yep.
So I'm going to grab that also and drop that in. So if y'all have not registered yet, make sure you register so you can pop into the room and come say hi to all of us. Dropping that right now. So I was going to say
givermarketing.com/connect. givermarketing.com/connect. That'll get you to our networking. It's an open networking time that'll be led by Christine and myself, and others will be in the room to sort of ask questions, connect, get to know each other. This is for anybody. This is for anybody who wants to join, whether you want to learn about marketing or whether you want to just learn about the people behind the scenes. You want to ask some questions. You want to get to know and meet other business professionals. A lot of marketers will be in the room, but there'll be others as well. So givermarketing.com/connect will get you there before it's too late. Don't wait. Go click on that registration page. It's no cost, but we want to see you in the room so we can connect with you and get to know you a little bit, and come ready to maybe share a little bit of your background, your story, and we'll go around the room and introduce each other a little bit if we can. So
so when you hit that registration page, that's what it's going to look like. That lets you know you're in the right place. We're going to have some fun, going to connect, right? Put some information in there. There's my information. Hit register, and then I'll get you the information so you can come hang out with us. Because I love the opportunity to talk one-on-one like that, or in small groups, and just really dive in and get to know people. I know they always get a lot of value out of it. So I'm really looking forward to Timothy. You know how, the Networking Diva, of course. So when we started doing the marketing summit, I was like, can we just pretty please add in that little networking element into it? And I was so happy when you're like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Well, what we'll do then is we'll jump over to that networking time, and tell us what happens after that, Christine.
Yeah, after that, we hop back in here again, right? There's we'll be streaming. We've got, goodness, which one is that one now? There we go. Okay. So when we get back, we're going to have some more speakers we have coming up. We've got Daniel Knight, President of Unicorn Universe, and we talk about referral marketing. Let's see. I'll be speaking also. We're going to be talking about AI, because that's a lot of what I do with my business. We'll have Rajiv talking about, what is it, Authority? Was it AI Authority is the new PR 3.0 is how he phrases
like
it. Basha's going to talk numbers. She's got she's a PhD in math or something. She is the numbers girl. You haven't had a chance to meet her yet, but she's hot and coming. So we're going to have fun, so much fun. We've got Nate Sasse talking about web conversion. So we've got lots of great speakers coming up. We're going to have a lot of fun today. But in between, we thought we'd break the day up a little bit with a little networking.
Great. What did you remember from our presenters so far as we sort of land the plane for the first half of our summit? What stood out to you so far?
Goodness. There, like you said, it's impossible not to watch a presentation and walk away with some new nugget of information. And but relationships are my thing. So what really made me smile was seeing how they've all, as they've joined the network, started interacting with each other and on a level of collaboration, which is something that one of the things you find with a lot of business owners is it the abundance or the scarcity mindset, right? So there's an abundance mindset, the idea that, other marketers aren't my competition, they're my collaborators. And that's a different way of looking at the world. So I love that we foster that kind of value in our organization. So I love seeing that they're all teaming up and working on projects because, Timothy, your influence on that has been huge, getting solopreneurs to stop thinking like a lonelypreneur and stop thinking about just themselves. But if they team up with others, now you have opportunities that you didn't have before. You have opportunities to work on larger projects, right? Increase the income and help businesses and work together. It's a win for everybody in the situation. So I love that mindset. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot happening within the network. And that benefits, not only our marketers, but also benefits the clients, right? Because now they can say, okay, I don't have to manage all these different people come in on specialties, right? I can have somebody as a coach that kind of helps manage all of that and project manage all of it for me, makes it a little bit easier, or being able to get a referral to somebody that we've used and that we trust. And I know when I send somebody to Tim Palmer, right, and they want to get found online, I know he's going to take good care of them. He's got a big heart, and I know he's going to do right by them, even if it means that he can't necessarily help them because they're not ready yet, but somebody that is honest and that will tell you that, worth their weight in gold right there. Right. And that's the kind of people we have here. And that's one of the reasons why I love being team director. It just warms my heart every day.
It's a privilege to watch and be a part of marketing professionals who say exactly what you were alluding to. I'm tired of doing this alone. And I want to make more impact, more money, and I want to do it in a team somewhere. And when that starts happening in a conversation, you and I both get really excited about that, because if you just want to sort of cruise where you're at and just serve a handful of clients and sort of be the freelancer for hire, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a lifestyle business. That's sort of a side gig for many people. And there's nothing wrong with doing that to sort of supplement income or do some different things. But at some point, if a client comes to you and says, hey, I need a full team here, you got a choice to make. You can either pretend like you're going to be able to do it all, and AI is going to help you do it all, which the learning curve on that is just extraordinary. You might have the information, but you don't have the experience. So what you need is a few other team members. That's what they focus on. That's what they eat, sleep, and breathe. And you essentially build a dream team for your client. They get really excited. And then somehow you look back and you go, I just made double what I was going to make if I would have done it myself. How did that work? And not only that, the other people that you brought into the game, there's that sports analogy again, are able to play, are able to generate a little bit extra income. And there's a sort of a pay it forward sort of effect that starts happening, or a reciprocity effect that starts happening. And that's why you hear some of the members talking about, I brought so-and-so in on this project, and then they brought me on this project, and I brought them on this project. And so there becomes sort of this preferred vendor vibe that starts happening within communities like this. And so, yeah, I just like seeing good people win. Like, I just like seeing people with, character, and they say what they do and do what they say. They have some experience. They don't blow smoke. They're metrics driven. All that kind of stuff just gets me excited. So, Christine, any other notes before we jump into the networking time?
Well, I just want to remind everybody that if there's somebody that really struck a chord with you and you thought, oh my goodness, I really liked what they had to say, right? Don't hesitate. Reach out to them, right? Friend them up on LinkedIn, find them on Facebook, right? Follow them, get on their calendar, have an appointment. One of the things I love about our organization and the people in it is they are just generous. They have generous souls, big hearts. So don't be intimidated. Sometimes we're afraid to ask, like, oh, are they, what if I'm not there yet? What if my marketing's such a hot mess that they're going to look at it and run away, right? What if, we have these fears, or what if they cost so much? Have a free conversation. Everybody that we've had talk today has all said no cost conversation. Take advantage of that. If you're not, you're really missing out on some opportunities to see where you want to go with your business. So have a conversation. We're all friendly, I promise.
Yeah. Reach out to Christine or myself if you're just not sure who to talk to about what. We can make sure and answer any of those questions. You're probably seeing this on one of our social feeds and one of our many that the company and the organization have, or our personal pages and things like this. So if you're wherever you're seeing us, feel free to reach out and say, hey, who is that guy that was talking about this? Who's this Joel guy? Who's this Tim guy? Who's this, all the different people. Who's Kiesha? How do you spell her name? And like all the, like, just don't be bashful, and we'll try to help you, point you in the right direction. Even if they're not somebody you saw today and you have a question about marketing, about AI and how that's affecting marketing strategy and plans, and not just information, but resources and tools, like all the different ways that we can sort of save you time, help you make a bigger impact, generate more revenue. That's our mission, and that's a big part of what we do.
Yeah, we love to nerd out on that kind of stuff, right? So yeah.
Good. And I look forward to your I look forward to your presentation.
Yeah, we're talking AI tools later today. So just want to remind everybody, we're going to be cutting out of this stream. We're going to be heading into the networking. So wherever you're watching us now, if you're on Facebook, if on your LinkedIn, wherever it is that you're at, come back, and we're going to be starting back up because we're going to do networking for an hour. So see, it says 11:15 to 12:15 Pacific time. So that means at 12:15 we're coming back. So wherever you're at, you're going to come hang out with us for networking, and then come back to the stream wherever you're watching us right now, and you can see the rest of the summit.
All right. Well, with that, let's sign off, and let's jump over to the networking event. I'm excited. That'll be good.
All right. See you soon. The link is in the comments to register. So see you soon now.